what's next? Is there another question? No, there isn't. Should we do a bit of a preview on Stoke, John? Obviously, Stephen Schumacher will be in the opposition dugout as we head up to the Bet365 or the Britannia or wherever it is now.
They're saying Schumacher. Boomacher.
You're saying Burns.
What are your initial thoughts on this one?
Oof. Well, it's going to be, the Bernabeu, the Nou Camp, Old Trafford, Anfield. These are just some of the great football stadiums that there are that, are a bear pit atmosphere when they're full of home fans. And I have to say that, in terms of occasions that we're all going to remember and grounds that we're all going to say to our kids that we visited, the Bet365 or whatever it's called now, arena with its 6,000 booing home fans is going to be right up there. And obviously, if you're an ambitious young manager, when that kind of club comes calling, you don't say no. So, look, I think Foster has got a lot of stick for saying in the past, you have to respect other teams, but obviously, you really do have to respect Stoke. I mean, these are giants among the mere mortals of the Championship. These are, this is the Leviathan of the level. Who can forget their outstanding achievements, like driving a billboard around town demanding that Mark Hughes be sacked after he was in the job for 3 months, or getting 2 or 3 games out of Barcelona legend Bojan Krkic. I mean, these are feats that our club will never aspire to replicate. This is, probably gods against men. And in that sense, it's going to be a really difficult game. And I think, if we go there and then kind of sit in the away end in hushed, awed silence, that will be the reverence that the footballing cathedral in the Potteries will merit. So I would take probably 17-0. I know it would be bad for the goal difference. But, when you go there, really, it's disrespectful to even try and play, isn't it? So we'll just go and have to kind of bask in their reflected glory, I think. That's what I have to say on it.
Go on, Adam, give us your thoughts.
Sorry, I took the words out of Sam's mouth. I don't know if Sam will have anything to say now.
Oh, visual joke there for the audio listeners. You have to go and find that on YouTube. Whilst you're there, remember to like and subscribe. Adam, Saturday, the big one, or not so big one? Thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I'm hoping, maybe if we keep it down to 16, I'll be a lot happier. But on the off chance that the game runs slightly differently to that, and the off chance that we do find ourselves competing and do find ourselves in it, then my hope ultimately is that Schumacher looks at this game and does his classic Schuey roulette, galaxy braining, team selection, because it's got all the indications of for him and the what am I trying to say? What's the word I'm trying to find? The dynamic he finds himself in, the fact that he's going up against his old club for the first time in his managerial career, by the way, that's happening. There's 2 Aarons in here. I'm concerned. The fact that he's going up against Neil Dewsnip, who you've got the arguably master apprentice dynamic going on there. There's a lot to think about. I think this is obviously a big game for us. I think there's an argument that it is even bigger for them, and it's even bigger, particularly for Schumacher. It's arguably the biggest game he's had at Stoke since he departed, and he'll certainly see it as one of the most important of his career to date, his admittedly short career.
Probably the biggest since Bayern Munich at home.
Yeah, something along those lines. Yeah, he's. I think the way he sets up is going to be interesting. I think is the word to use. And as I say, I hope that he overthinks it, as we know that he can do. I hope that we come out and have a similar commitment, which I'm absolutely sure we will, to be clear. I think there's a lot of players at our side who think they'll have a point to prove to a manager who've left them in the cold a little as well. So, big game, as you say. If we can keep it below 17, I'd be delighted. But in perhaps another way that the game will go, I think a point for us certainly would be better, or a point would certainly be better for us than it would be for them. So, we've got to be ready for some sort of atmosphere. I think, and hopefully it'll turn sour
Wouldn't bank on it
very quickly.
Yeah, the atmosphere actually is what I'm looking forward to after the atmosphere last night. I think the away fans are going to be jumping. Is obviously the Schumacher needle, and a point would see us safe. I think with our goal difference, that would require 2 wins out of the last 3 from one of the sides below to get above us because of the goal difference. I don't see that happening really. Famous last words. But yeah, I think like if we can get the fans turned, because they've got a slightly better goal difference, I think. But if we were to beat them by a couple of goals and Huddersfield were to win by a couple of goals, I think that's all but erased. So yeah, I think it could be a really cracking game and cracking atmosphere. And it's obviously quite a lot on the line now, which there wasn't really looking like there was going to be a few weeks ago. I think Stoke fans aren't impressed with their run of form. They started putting things together, and now things are falling apart again. They're not impressed with Schumacher or whatever we call it these days. We've struggled with it, and they're not enjoying it either. So I really do think that it's got the potential for like an away day for the ages potentially, if we can get the crowd turned, and if we, obviously the Schadenfreude will be joyous if we can get them squeaking for the last couple of games of the season.
Yeah, I mean, an away day for the ages to Stoke must involve a trip to Alton Towers. Let's be honest. Obviously, Sam, this is our first trip back to the Pottery since a bigger club, Port Vale, gave us 4,000 tickets. Obviously, sold out away end. Give us your thoughts ahead of this one. Have you noticed I did no Stoke City preview prep and just asking you all your thoughts? Go on.
Yeah, it's going to be a cracking atmosphere. I think that the 2,600 of the Green Army that have now sold out are going to be making noise from minute 1 to minute 90, probably quite a way pre-minute 1. Look, I'm bittersweet about it, because I think I've always been a lot more, as John alluded to in that very good piece of satire earlier on, I've always been a lot more understanding of
satire.
why. Shut up. I've always been a lot more understanding of why Schumacher chose to make that decision than many people have been. Because, look, they are a club with a very big stadium and a very big budget, and actually quite on paper, a good squad of players. Obviously, manager after manager have left jobs that are doing well to go to Stoke, and manager after manager have failed. Gary Rowett, Nathan Jones, Michael O'Neill, Alex Neil, and now potentially Stephen Schumacher. I get, for a manager of his ego and his self-confidence, self-belief, he would be tempted by being the one to turn Stoke around, not to mention the enormously larger salary they're no doubt offering him. I was terribly sad, and I still am terribly sad, and I would certainly be happily welcome him back at Home Park one day, but I understood more than anybody else why he did what he did when he did. Maybe certain things around it, the way he handled his departure, weren't very good, but I can understand why he took that job. That being said, I don't.
You understand why he gutted all our backroom staff and then recalled a lone player that was quite integral to the way we were playing?
That was the subtext of certain things around his departure. Yes.
Lone player who, by all accounts, has been extremely popular and successful during his spell in the Potteries, and who I think scored his most important goal of the season for us today.
He did. He really did. Yeah. But look, going on from that, I think I will not be abashed about it if we. Sorry, what's the laughter at now?
Not you, for once.
Just some commentary about Anton Deck in the comments. Just very random.
Yeah, okay, yeah, sure. I feel that if we make it a very unpleasant place for him for 90 minutes, I'm not going to complain, because what adds the game a little bit more of an extra spice to it is Neil Dewsnip being in the opposition dugout. That is the ultimate master against apprentice dynamic. We know that those two probably didn't part on the very best of terms at Argyle. As to how much that rumour is overblown, I don't know, but there's probably some substance to it. Dewsnip against Schumacher, Stoke against Argyle, relegation fight, win for either team pretty much makes them safe and would certainly make us safe. What a game. You know, you can't really script a better, more exciting game from the third from last game of the season than this. It's going to be nervy. It's going to be tense. It's going to be loud and jumpy and bouncy. But
entirely in the away end.
Enough about you.
Entirely in the away end. But it could be one of the days for the Aged. I think if we have an away day for the Aged, not long after having had a home game for the Aged, then this couple of weeks will go down as some of the finest in our history. I cannot wait. I'm very excited. I'll be very angry if we lose. I'll be more than happy if we draw. And if we win, I'll be dancing and drinking and shouting all the way home, because it will be an away day for the Aged if it happens.
Sure, Kurt, you'll love that.
No comment.
Have you decided what flavour soup you're getting for the big one?
Not yet.
Oh, interesting. You have to let us know. We have to add it.
I'm not going to elaborate for anyone else listening what I mean by soup. There, you know, if you know, you know.
Yeah, likes a tomato soup on an away game.
You're making it sound like drugs or something illegal. It is quite literally just a legal drink called soup. I think just preventing Sam from throwing himself under the bus of uncertainty.
Yes,
the banana bus.
It's a perfectly legal drink.
Mm.
You sound shifty saying that as well, but genuinely,
even I'm suspicious now.
It's a caffeinated alcoholic beverage. There we go. That's all we need to know.
John, obviously, we've already mentioned their main threat in midfield in Luke Cundle, but are there any players in that Stoke team that worry you, that are going to give you sleepless nights?
Maradona, Gerrard, Pele. I'll stop with that now. No. Cundle and Niall Ennis give me sleepless nights, in the sense that, like, it would just be sod's law for them to pop up and score an important goal against us, wouldn't it? But no, they don't give me sleepless nights at all. Look, I'm absolutely not saying that we are going to go there and win. I could very much see us going there. You know, Schuey gets them right up for it because of the former club factor for him. It's 1 or 2-0 to them. We don't turn up. I'm not trying to be hubristic about it, but they're very bad. They're very, very bad. I don't think we're an amazingly great side either. Obviously, if we play like we did last night, then we do look like a very, very good side. But no, they're very poor. I mean, I think they're a dreadfully run club. I think he was a complete idiot to go there, contrary to Sam's understanding it. Not because I begrudge him the chance necessarily to go and test his skills at a bigger club that's actually well run and has potential, but because they don't. I think their players are, by and large, probably not poor individual players, but have been poor for them. That's why they're right down there, despite the fact they have a significant transfer budget. Yeah, so no, there's no one I fear. Keanu Hoover seems like a good player. He's got a nice moment in him. But if we go there and play the way we can play, I absolutely think it's within our control to get something out of the game. I really, really do.
And I want to just quickly say as well, Walter Berger, or Berger, however you say it, who's been, according to their fans, their best player this season, he went off injured today with a concussion sub. So by the protocols, that means he probably won't play against us, which, whilst you'd never like to see anybody suffering from concussion, and I hope he had a hasty recovery, if the 7-day rule is followed, he won't play against us, which is good news, because he's been probably their best player this season.
Yeah, it'll be Berger Bard. Sorry, I wanted to get a bad pun in too.
Yeah, from the highlights that I saw, he wasn't walking too gingerly. Let's put it that way. He was a bit wobbly, so I can't see him passing.
But also, I don't think it's necessarily about passing the protocol. I mean, Ryan Hardy looked in a dreadful way when he came off against Rotherham earlier in the season. By all accounts, from inside the club, he was pretty much fine. Jumped back up the next day and was okay, but he had to be out for 7 days, right? I mean, that's mine. So it doesn't matter how he walked off. It doesn't matter how he is tomorrow. It doesn't really matter how he is the day after from that strict point of view. My understanding is it has to be an enforced break.
Yeah. Adam, should we just do score predictions? Nothing really else to talk about, is there? Apart from Stephen Schumacher's. No,
yeah,
we've already done that.
We could have that go on for days, I'm sure. Score predictions. Look, it could go either way, but it would be wrong not to be optimistic after everything that's happened. So let's go for a 96-minute winner, Argyle 2-1.
Ben?
I think the pressure's on them. I think we pressure's off us. I think we need 1 point from this and Millwall. I fancy our chance. Actually, I think a 2-1. I think 2-1 sounds pretty seems right. I think I'm gonna go for 2-0. I think the way we've defended last night gives us. I think we could easily keep them out. Yeah, let's go 2-0 and really put the cat amongst the pigeons.
Are we saying that we only need 1 point now, and that's enough?
Well, we're basically 4.5 points better off with our goal difference, aren't we? Which requires the two teams, but one of the two teams on 44 to get 5 points, which is what, a win and 2 draws. So if we get another point, that means they'd have to get 2 wins out of at least 2 wins out of the next 3 games. And
even then, even if that did happen, we could still be saved if one of Birmingham and QPR failed to get the points. And if Blackburn lost every game, we could still overtake them on goal difference. So there are a lot of routes to survival. Like when I don't know if there's any political or election enthusiasts here, like when you look at the 538 map to the presidency, you see all these different paths that different candidates can win by. We have a lot of paths to survival. There is a feasible path to survival that involves losing every game, which is that Wednesday and Huddersfield will both get 4 points or fewer. So I think if we lose every game, we will probably go down. But for one, I don't think we'll lose every game. And for two, even if we did, there is a not unreasonable chance that Wednesday and Huddersfield wouldn't get the points. So I think we only need 1 more point. I think we will get that 1 more point, which leads me on. Very good from Jack there in the comments. I think we only need 1 more point. I think we will get 1 more point. I think we'll get it on Saturday. I think it will be an end-to-end, nail-biting 2-2 draw. That is better for us than for them.
Yeah, it's actually really annoying that Jack made that comment because I was about to say that. Same from Mike. Go on then, Sam. Score prediction whilst you're unmuted.
I think he'll go for a 2-2.
Oh, did he?
Good to know you're paying attention.
Sorry, you started talking about politics and I just switched off, to be honest.
2-2 draw, yes.
Fair enough. John?
Stoke 5, Plymouth 38. No, I think that I'm really conflicted about this. I can absolutely see Adam's point that on paper, this is a classic Schuey Galaxy brain waiting to happen.
Where it's played on paper, John.
Well, exactly. Where while I think Schuey is a better manager than Neil Dewsnip, by virtue of the fact Neil Dewsnip is not a football manager, and Schuey, I think, is a very good football manager. You have seen
Schumacher is also a head coach. So
when he's come up against Ryan Lowe for the first time, when he's come up against Gareth Ainsworth, who seems to be someone who got in his head a little bit, I think some of Shuey's, he kind of overthinks it, as Adam said earlier, or he wants to do that. So I could absolutely see him kind of just playing into Dewsnip's hands and, we end up winning the game fairly comfortably and do a job on them. I could also see a kind of, classic Argyle back up the performance that was so brilliant last night with the performance that's absolutely terrible next time out. So I'll split the difference and say it'll be a draw, though unlike Sam, I actually don't think it'll be despite the fact it's Shuey and us, I don't think it'll be a gung-ho draw. I think it'll be a very, very nervy, horrible game to watch, and it'll just finish 1-1 or 0-0 or something like that, which I would also like to go on the record as saying would be absolutely fine.
Anything you guys want to cover that we didn't touch on?
I did want to very quickly, a player who did not get a shout out earlier on when we were doing who had a great game last night, who I just wanted to mention very briefly, is Adam Randall, who I thought had his best game in the Championship.
Hang on. Keep talking.
Oh, are we using this as an opportunity? I was actually not trying to set Aaron up for an opportunity to sell merchandise, but it turns out that that's exactly what I've done. So there we go.
No, but in all seriousness, the stuff from in collaboration with PAFC Displays, we basically just take the fucking I need to swear. We take a very minimal fee off just for like domain hosting and web fees. So all the stuff that's PAFC Displays merch actually goes to PAFC Displays. So if you want to help out with more of the displays that you saw last night, and create atmospheres like that again, you can get PAFC Displays merch from our shop. And like I said, we make nothing off that.
That's our second highest driver of revenue. The highest driver of revenue being the new swear jar that we've put in as well. That's getting a lot of money at the moment.
You're going in for the middle finger that you did earlier as well, to be fair.
Yeah, exactly.
Good to know that, good to know when I finally get my when I finally get my hands on my Adam Randall jumper from Aaron next week, that it's going to be massively stretched in the shoulder department from the way he's been displaying it on camera there. Not a very beefy man, as you can see. So I think this might be, if you see someone who's wearing a jumper that's coming out to twice the width of his body, it's going to be me, I think. But yeah, I just wanted to say, just on a serious note, Frank Lampard face, I did want to say that Randall was absolutely superb last night. I think this isn't say, he's not been good at this level, but for me, that's the night that he became a proper championship footballer. I think that we'll look back on as being the night where he really kind of stepped up to the level and bossed a midfield full of fabulous players. He was quite superb.
I want to say I met Tatsu last night and my phone was dead, so I couldn't get a picture. I was absolutely gutted. I saw him waiting in the queue to get signatures and stuff. And I was like, oh, I finally met you, Tatsu. After sort of helping to set up the interview pod. And I couldn't get a photo. So if you're at Stoke, Tatsu, and you see me, please come and get a photo. I'd love one.
I would also like to agree on Randall. I thought it was fantastic. I wouldn't actually quite say it was his best performance at championship level, because I thought the New Year's Day game against Watford in that 3-3 draw, he was so utterly fantastic, even better. But I think last night was the second best game at championship level. He covered every inch of ground. He hard tackles, used the ball brilliantly. And I want to just say Adam Forshaw as well, the other Adam in midfield, for a lovely pass out to Bundy for that assist. As good as the finish was, brilliant to even pick him out there. Forshaw is not a player who's going to play many full 90s. I think his legs were already going when we subbed him off. But when he's on it and when he's on full form, he's a fantastic player to have. And I can see why Leeds fans hold him in such high regard. And for ATID, because he's asked us to mention it, I just want to mention that Bundu was playing 8 tiers lower than Leicester when they won the league. And now he's scoring the winning goal against
them. No one else has said that on the pod this evening.
No, absolutely nobody else has mentioned that, because Sam turned up late and so did Argyle Till I Die. So, yes,
Mustafa
we have mentioned that.
Mustafa Bundu in at Hereford, in at Newquay, in at Chesterfield.
Yeah, has been mentioned. Anyway, thanks for that. I think if that's it, I think we'll call that a night.
Just over the hour.
We're not going to tackle Jay's question in the comments, Aaron.
Shag, marry, avoid. What we'll do, we'll change that. Shag, marry, avoid. Dan Scarr, Mike Cooper, Adam Randall. We'll go.
That's a shame, because I was going to say marry Aaron for all the money that he's railing in from the mocktails. So that's a shame.
God, I wish. I would sleep with Mike Cooper, marry Adam Randall, because lovely boy. What a lovely boy. He'd look after you, wouldn't he? And most probably avoid Dan Scarr, because they're going to be a bit rough. A bit tattooed
now,
up.
No one else needs to answer that. Good night, everyone.
No worries. I agree. Although when me and John were walking out of the Taverners bar last night at about 10 to midnight, Adam Randall, driving out of Home Park, did see we were Argyle fans walking out rather merry and honked his horn at us, which was good to see. Great.
That's not a euphemism, people. Like the soup thing. It's not. It is what it is.
And Sam lying down in the middle of the road was like, it's so great that Adam Randall would see us as Argyle fans and want to honk his horn. Oh, he's still doing it.
This podcast is taking quite a turn, and I think we need to wind it in.
Yeah, I think we'll call that a night. I think we can carry on this chat off air. But for the good point, Andy. Why is Sam not wearing merch? I don't think he's actually ordered his yet. I think we'll call that a night. Cheers, guys. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Follow us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. TikTok's done well over the weekend. I found a new template thing where you can put some dancing lady on a picture. Go and check it out.
Spoken like a true Gen Z there. Spoken like you definitely know what TikTok is.
Yeah, Aaron, somebody from my team at work the other day literally come back off his break and said I was just scrolling TikTok and I saw you on it. And that was the clip of you put up of me at Rotherham.
Class, where you managed to spill a whole pint down yourself.
Nobody
that's why he's not wearing. That's why he's not wearing merch.
Blame a certain someone who may or may not be my housemate for that one.
Housemate, I'll tell him that. He definitely doesn't own that property. And obviously, make sure you subscribe on all your podcast platforms and all that jazz. All night. Goodbye. See you later.
Goodbye.
Au revoir.
Up the
Cheers all.
Argyle.